Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm Mayank Agarwal and we have been learning Python through our Hello Python series. So in this video, after covering all about loops, now I want to make sure that you also understood nested loops. So let's start with them. So cool everyone, now let us understand nested loops. Okay, so loops can actually be nested in Python as the same is case with other languages. So just nesting of loop, like loop within a loop. Okay, that is what nesting is known. So nesting is a concept like something within something, right? So nested loops mean that you are writing a loop and there's another loop inside that particular loop. Okay, so a nested loop is a loop that occurs within another loop. There are a lot of helpful in solving, I would say, pattern based question. Okay, along with that, of course, we have use cases. We have different use cases, I would say, in majorly when we write code or write any logic, plus in pattern based questions where we are majorly trying to print out some pattern or find some pattern, then there nested loops are very much helpful. Okay, so this is basically the syntax for variable one in some sequence. Okay, so because we are dealing with for here, of course while can also be used. So basic understanding remains the same. I also explained you nested conditionals like nested if else statement. So maybe you can see that video as well. I will have the link or it will be somewhere in the I button. So the intuition or idea overall is the same, that let's say we have something and under that we have something else, okay, which is doing that same thing. So just like we have used to have if statement, and under that on indentation a new block used to start, kind of, where you can actually use all of them. The understanding is same. Okay, so you first start a loop, then indentation start, and because this indentation is kind of a new block, right, this indentate is kind of a new block, here you actually can have whatever you want. Like you can have an if statement. In a similar way you can have a for or while loop as well here. So when you write this I would say for loop inside this, so we can see that it can be on the same sequence or some other sequence, and statement 1 2, then 1 2 3, these are for the inside loop, and then s3, and then an indented statement comes into the picture. Okay, so again this is just one more syntax: outer loop expression, inner loop expression. Then you can have inner loop, I would say inner statement 1 2 3, then outer statement. Okay, there can be some statement here as well in between, and just in the sequence they are gonna get executed, and then once you come out you have the unindented code. Okay, so indentation is of course your only friend and only way I would say that you understand the nesting part, and while loop can of course can also be used. Okay, so let us see some practical as well here everyone. So for let's say I in range, now I hope you know all this thing. Okay, let's say 0 to 10, or let me take 1 to 11. So we are just gonna write a table. Okay, so for let me take it like this, var1 and var2 in range, let's say 3 to 5. Okay, so I'm gonna just print inner loop. Okay, so I'm just using this so that you understand exactly what is happening. Variable 1 into variable 2, so it's basically gonna give you the table overall. Okay, and let me just write here print outer loop number is equals to var1. Okay, and we can also basically have something here, print outside of inner loop for. So this all will just be very helpful in understanding. So let us now run this. I will just quickly walk you through the code so you understand exactly what's going to happen, and this is going to make your overall understanding also a lot more clear. So for variable 1, okay, this variable 1 is going to be actually from range 1 to 10. Okay, I think we should change this because you will see the problem. Then outer loop number is basically going to change. Okay, then first it will be 1, then 2, then 3. So range function we have already covered in the last video. Please make sure that you see and understand that. Then in the inner loop, variable 2 is there, range is 3 to 5. Then inner loop we are printing variable 1 into 2. So first your var1 is gonna be 1, then your var2 is basically gonna become first 3, then 4. So we'll get 3 and 4, and like this basically everything is gonna move forward. So let us quickly see this. Let me move all of these things. Cool. To get rid of this pen, yeah. So invalid syntax, where have we made the error? 1 second. Okay, this should not be var space 1 var1. Okay, so yeah, outer loop number 1, then you get 3 4, outside of outer inner loop for 1, then we get for 2, then it's 6 and 8. Okay, so ideally I should actually have changed this, but should be fine. Then it is out for this particular loop, then it's 3. Okay, 9 and 12. So something like this is happening where like it's basically been changing till 10. Okay, so 10, and in like you are seeing the table of 3 and 4 in a way. Okay, so 3 into 1, 3, 4 into 1, then 3 into 2, 4 into 2, like this something is happening. If you just focus on the flow, like the way I'm telling you, that should be more than enough. The way, if you will just focus on the flow, that should be more than enough to understand what exactly is helping. Also, always remember that this indentation, now basically there's a proper new code block. You can actually have if statement here. Okay, so let's say if I write if var1 equals to 5. Okay, maybe then let's say I want to continue. So we know that if we continue here, it is going to go outside, right? That is what used to happen. So let us run this and you will see that now for 5 it is not going to run. See, the 5 one is out. Similarly, if I make it break, then also I think you understand how it's going to happen. Till 4 only we are going to see this. Till 4 only we are going to see the output, and then it's going to break and come outside of our loop. And once it come outside of our loop, print I am here. So see, this is exactly how it's going to happen. It's going to come out and I am here is going to get printed. Okay, so the overall flow is something like this. Pay attention everyone, and how exactly this the flow here is. So this loop starts, okay, then inside it there is another loop running. So this loop also basically runs multiple times and then it basically comes out. So it's kind of a jalebi, if I would say, like with a sweet, but yeah, something like this is happening. Okay, then it comes out. So that's why we say that this is the outer loop, okay, and this is the inner loop. So this is the major understanding. You just have to understand and make your, like the basics the way I've explained you, okay, with the indentation and everything. You just have to be sure of that, like just see that how that is getting applied. See what exactly is getting printed, which variable are we using, okay, all these things if you pay attention, there's like, this is just very easy. Okay, don't get any confusion in that. I'm also anyway going to give an assignment to you as well where you can use that, and I'm going to make a separate video where I'm going to teach you, okay, in a good 25 to 30 minutes, that how exactly you can I would say catch on all the pattern question which are there. Okay, so all these things I'm going to cover, but first please make sure that you understand that this is exactly how it's happening. So once you are inside this indentation block, once you are here, you actually just have to run it like a separate code block where you know that, okay, variable 1 is having some value. Now whatever that value is, you just have to use it and move forward. Okay everyone, so I hope this thing is clear. Whatever is this value, we just have to use it and then give us our output and everything. Okay, so that is how the I would say nested loop concept runs. Let me clear all these things. So maybe let us just quickly do a pattern question as well. That would be helpful for you to understand this. And again, as I said, I'm going to cover everything in a proper video. Okay, so let's say we have to make something like this, like we create an int and just do something like this. Okay, so this is your question. So let us take n from the user. Maybe let's say it is 5 only. Now pay attention everyone. Okay, so let us pay attention on what exactly is happening. Like how exactly is this overall pattern running. Okay, so see how we deal with these questions. First is 1, then 2, 2, then 3, 3, 3. So maybe I can run an outer loop, okay, for outer in, I would say 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 because I need 5 as well. And in the inner loop, I just have to make sure that I'm printing it that many times only. So 1 is getting print 1 times, 2 is getting print 2 times, 3 3 times, 4 4 times. So I have to make sure that for maybe let's say inner in range. Okay, so I can just use the same thing only. Range, let's say this outer variable, because this is, so see, in this outer I will be having 1 first, then 2, then 3, and I want to print 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. Just I will print the outer that many time, and we should be good to just code it. Okay, there is just one thing which I hope you catch, but should be fine once we write the code. So let me just quickly write this code as well, everyone. So pay attention for inner in range 1 to n plus 1. Okay, so just writing a generic code for outer, oh sorry, my bad, outer inner. Now pay attention everyone. See, just normally if I write this first code, what's going to happen? Okay, let me just comment it and see. We are getting 1 2 3 4 5, like that is what our outer will be, right? So if now I basically comment this for inner in range, if I just use this outer variable, so outer will be 1, so it's going to run 1 time, then 2, then it's going to run 2 times. If I just print outer here, okay, if I just print outer here, then I think we are all good. There is just one thing which we have to make sure, which I think once I run you will understand. So see, it is just not coming, basically it is, of course, print always end with a new line. So every time we are getting a new line, so how we can get that? End is equals to an empty string. Okay, something like not even this. So yeah, now it should be fine. Again, there is one more problem. Let us see that. So if I will run it, okay, if I will run it, then you are getting everything in a straight line, because now your end, it is never going to the next line. Okay, so for that you just have to do an empty basically this, where you can leave it empty, because the end is anyway a new line, so it's going to take you to the new line, and now it's fine. So now it's going to actually run for even 10. See, everything is working fine, right? So that's the overall, I would say, idea. Let us make it for 8, because 10 is a little bit unclear, but should be fine. So that is the idea. Again, I will be, so for this pattern there are few, I would say, techniques or tricks to quickly catch them. So I'm going to make a separate video on that pretty soon, because I want to make sure that because you are learning these concepts now, I think that will be better if you master them while you are learning. Okay, so don't worry of that. But I hope the overall idea of outer loop is nested loop is clear. Now again, just to show you an example, the same thing you can actually run with that as well. Okay, end is equals to 5. So while my start is, or let's say less than equal end, okay, and while let's say start, let us not take it start here, so let me make outer here, which is equals to start, okay, and while my start is less than equal to end here, maybe I can just print start into outer. Okay, I'm making outer here. So again, this is just gonna run multiple times, nothing else. And if I run it, have I written some, okay, I think I've written some code. 1 second. Yeah, I think I've made some mistakes. So it's an infinite loop, because while loop, we have to make sure that we are also updating everything here. Like that is something which we missed, and now our code is just running only. Let me try to interrupt the kernel. So yeah, one thing, once you start writing for loop a lot, then you of course miss out on these things. I hope you understood what mistake I made. So I have to make sure that I do start is equals to start plus 1, and in a similar way I have to do outer is equals to outer plus 1, because my start and end are not getting updated. So it is running. In for loop we don't have to worry on that, because for loop itself was doing it, but here it's a problem. Okay, so I think, yeah, sometime it happens, your kernel is not getting restarted because it is in the running state. So no worries. I hope you get the idea, like what mistake we have made. Let me just zoom it out. Cool. Anyways, so I hope you understood what mistake we have made. So we have to just make sure that we increase the start. So let me refresh it. So yeah, this happens if you're not careful about your coding. So now it is run. Okay, so if you will see that, you will see lots of fun. So it just kind of went berserk with all these things and keep on printing this. So our start is equals to start plus 1. Again, because outer loop is inner loop is running, we have to make sure that we correct the same thing in inner loop only. Okay, and now it's fine. Okay, so that is what is happening here, like just a normal loop. So start is going to start and then it's getting increased. In a similar way, outer is also going to work on that one. Okay, so yeah, that's how you use nested loop, everyone. We'll go back to this. Yeah, so this is all about the nested loop which we have to cover. Cool, everyone. So I hope the concept of loops, everything is a lot clear. I am going to give you an assignment on this. Okay, so you will find the same on the resource link which I comment, or normally it is in the description. Please make sure that you do that assignment. Okay, that will help you to actually reinforce all the learning which you have done for this particular, I would say, concept. Again, you can mail me your solutions and I'm going to give you back the proper solution file where everything is there, all the solution and everything is explained. Please do that. That will be very helpful. And if you're liking the way I'm teaching, the way I'm explaining you concepts in depth with proper examples, proper handwritten notes, proper these notebooks, please make sure that you like this video, comment on my video what you're liking, or if anything is there which you is not clear, do share this video. And yeah, please subscribe to my channel, as that will be a lot motivating to, like, of course it puts in a lot of effort, so it will be a lot motivating to see that, yeah, people are actually liking the way I'm teaching, because I plan to create actually a lot of content on everything on the world of AI, data science, machine learning, DSA and everything. So that will be a lot, I would say, motivating for me. So thank you very much, everyone. Now in the next, I would say, class, we are going to start with data structures in Python. So inbuilt data structures we are going to cover as they are required in, I would say, AI, ML and data science use cases. So yeah, that would be very helpful to you if you are planning to basically start your journey in Python and take it for development, machine learning, anywhere. So those things will be very helpful to you. Okay, cool then. Thanks a lot, everyone. Let's meet in the next class. Thank you.